It was being able to read her voice so clearly on that page. It's like a sense of knowing that you're going to fall in love, that you somehow you know that you get the person. I understand what you're trying to say, and I am the right one for you. Hi, I'm Sandra Oh, and this is the timeline of my career so far.
My dad would read to me, and I would get this great feeling of going into another world.
I started acting on camera early, at about 14, 15. I grew up in Canada in a small town called Nepean, just outside of Ottawa, the capital. And so a lot of my early career was just scrapping away of trying to get myself on camera in any kind of form. So when this opportunity came of The Diary of Evelyn Lau, which was a television film for the CBC, I knew it was going to change my life. I was still in theater school at the National Theater School. My sister's friend saw an ad. It was an open audition call for young Asian actresses. And my sister called me. I remember this so well. I can feel it. She goes, my friend said there's this open audition for this thing. And she was telling me about it. And I remember this feeling of like, this is mine, it's mine. And I knew that I had to play this role. It just established everything I think of who I am as an actor. I just remember just giving my all. It was just so fundamental for me. And not many people know it. You know what I mean? It's a Canadian television film, but it just set up so much for my life as an artist.
I woke up and found myself in the arms of a stranger.
I know you're up there.
Okay, shut up, I'm coming.
I met the director of Double Happiness, Mina Shum, on the set of Diary of Evelyn Lau because she came into play like a translator or something, and then she gave me her script, Double Happiness. It was an amazing meeting. And now, you know, Mina Shum we're collaborators. I've done 3 of her films. We've done a film a decade. Seriously. Our 20s, our 30s, and our 40s. I'm sure hopefully she'll be writing one when I can do one in my 50s. And that ended up being just an unbelievable collaboration and a long-term relationship. My relationship with Canada is I left theater school and I went right into work, right into the work that I wanted to do. The Diary of Evelyn Lau, I played Evelyn Lau. You know, in Double Happiness, Jade Lee, I played Jade Lee. And to take the ownership and the leadership in the leading role, that's how I started out of theater school. And that's my relationship with Canada. And I'm deeply, deeply appreciative of it. Because things changed when I came to the States. When I look back, right, I feel like I learned so much, or so much of my own approach or character was based on the opportunities that I had through my schooling at the National Theater School, right into like the first few years out of it, because I did a lot. I think back now, I just knew how it could be.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saves a wretch like me.
I will always be so grateful to Robert Will for casting me in HBO's Arliss. I had never done television. I had never done comedy. And he just took a gamble on me. You know, it was HBO in the 90s. It was like a really inventive and salty, spicy time. So I just cut my teeth. You know, I was in my 20s. I was working with all men. It was all in sports. And I was really learning comedy hard and fast. I had done a lot of improv in my high school years. And, you know, I went to theater school, but really being able to use those skills in this television show. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. I think the biggest difference, or the things that I started learning about comedy and drama, the difference is understanding comedy in a wide shot and what you can carry, mostly physically, and also understanding how much drama is about a close-up. What I learned from Arliss was just really using my body a lot more expressively. I I haven't seen that show in a long time. I'm sure there's a lot of crazy things that I had to do.
This is our estate Syrah.
You are a bad, bad girl, Stephanie.
I know I need to be spanked.
Looking back at my career, what the decisions were regarding choosing roles, it was to find roles where I wouldn't be cut out of the film. It has to do with the script. I really do think so. I mean, Sideways was an amazing experience. I feel confidently say that everyone who participated on that film, I think of that film so fondly. Alexander Payne, really gave the company, the four of us, space to kind of be together. That's the kind of magic that you need to have a good director who understands how to create an entire system where everyone's going to be able to feel free and bring magic into it. So with that, and the trust that I had with Paul and Thomas, it was being able to go all the way. So the major scene for Stephanie, that mostly people probably will remember, is that Stephanie beats Thomas Hayden Church.
Look what I got for our favorite girl.
Mother... Oh, Jesus Christ! Stephanie, stop!
You're getting married on Saturday? What was all that you said to me?
So as Stephanie, who was weeping because she felt betrayed, I was weeping while I was beating him. And that is comedy, because you're talking about, in the context, what the character is doing. She's in her own dramatic film. But again, when we were talking about comedy and drama, what can also make something work so well? I mean, you have big physicality of a small woman beating on a guy who deserves it. And I think in an underground way, a lot of people could really, really feel that desire to beat someone up.
We don't have to do that thing where, I say something and then you say something and then somebody cries and there's like a moment. And
Yeah.
Good. You should get some sleep. You look like crap.
I look better than you.
It's not possible.
The reason why I wanted to play Christina in Grey's Anatomy is because dramaturgically, at least in the pilot, and again, you never knew if it would go past a pilot, she was the antagonist. Meredith Grey is the protagonist, and clearly she was the antagonist. And I'm like, that is the part that I wanted to play. I found her interesting. I found her prickly. I found her having a lot of the qualities that I don't particularly feel like I have. I just was also at a point where I did not want to play a character of authority. I was more interested in the role of the student, because you have to find stuff out. You don't have answers. You're the person trying to find stuff out. That's where story is. I approached it, and my team approached it in a very Christina way. Classically, in television, you sign a contract before you actually audition to do the final auditions. And we went into these final auditions for the studio. I came in early to do kind of a work session with Shonda and Peter and Betsy. So I just worked it. We went through the scenes so they did see me, what I was going to do with Christina. They saw me act her. And then when it was time to wait for, studio blah, 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 to audition like properly, my great team called me and they said, walk out, just leave. Because they couldn't get the deal that they felt that I deserved, which I am eternally grateful to them for. And so I was like, okay, I gotta leave this audition. But I would say, thinking back to it, I was at that point in my career of practicing that no. I had to systematically start focusing on how I wanted to build my career in the way of just internally. Now I'm ready to say no. Here's work, here's this. I'm ready to say no if it doesn't match up to where I want it to be. So I said no, but then Shonda said, I want her. So I guess it worked.
Are you done?
No. Now I am.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, Phoebe Waller-Bridge has such a unique and singular voice. It's right there on the page. That experience of first getting that first pilot script, I'm always going to be looking for that feeling now forward. It was being able to read her voice so clearly on that page. It's like a sense of knowing that you're going to fall in love. It's like a sense of that you somehow you know that you get the person. I understand what you're trying to say, and I am the right one for you. I'm going to be able to get you what you want because there's something extremely interesting here, and it's just like I get it. And I think that was very much the feeling that I was operating on when I decided to do Killing Eve. It's great to just play Eve. And I will share this. It's not great like it feels good. It's great because she's a great character. And what she's trying to do, I really believe in. So being able to put all of yourself into the role is a tremendous gift. Not necessarily always easy. I do feel like a special part of Killing Eve is that it's a profoundly psychological piece. But as you see Eve grow, it has to be believable. You have to see someone growing in front of you. And that's actually not so easy to do. So that's really been my aim, to examine the psyche of a woman and how she needs to be whole. And that's what Eve needs and gets from her relationship with Villanelle. It could also be the other way around, but I don't want to speak for Villanelle. That takes work to be whole.
What does your pen?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. Get your shit together.
What drew me to the chair is that same feeling. I feel like when Sarah Paulson emailed me and she said, hey, can I send you something? My friend Amanda did it. And then I read it, and it's that. I get this person's voice, and I feel like I understand what she's trying to do, and I think I can do it. And the world that Amanda created in The Chair, which is the world of academia and all the subject matters with which she is tackling, ageism, sexism, you have academia, the complexity of, I'm loath to call it cancel culture because it's such a quick way of minimizing the challenge of being nuanced in one's action and opinion. It's also exploring being a single mom, transracial adoption, multiple languages, and what it is to be a working woman. So Ji-Yoon Kim, with the character I play in The Chair, she's the first female and chair of this English department and person of color. And you just see what happens to this woman who is trying to navigate a midlife budding romance with Bill, played by J. Duplass, and who's also trying to keep her English department alive and the challenges that she's constantly squeezed by.
It's funny, the two of you are like...
No, there's nothing funny about it, Bill. Pay attention to your courses. The only reason you enroll high is because of your reputation.
I am glad that over my career, which started at the age of 15, that now nearing 50, that things have evolved. But I am not going to say, oh, great, there has been a change. It's an evolution, and it is slow. And I'm just not going to give it what we all hope that it is, that, oh, it's changed, because it is evolving. And I feel very much that I'm glad that I am working through its evolution and in its evolution. Anyone who really understands or really can finally kind of experience change, you just know that it is very, very slow, not to give up hope at all. It's much more profound than one film or one this or one that. It is a slow progression, and it demands internal change on everyone's part if we want the change to happen.